Oz Pearlman's Read Your Mind, Proven Habits for Success from the World's Greatest Mentalist, reads like a practical playbook disguised as a memoir from the stage. For American readers who prize performance, persuasion, and peak performance in business and life, Pearlman's book lands as a rare hybrid, part entertainer's behind-the-curtain secrets, part behavioral toolkit, and part motivational manual. He takes the reader from the bright lights of Las Vegas and television studios to the quiet rehearsal rooms where habits are forged, showing how the same mental disciplines that let a performer read an audience can be repurposed to sharpen focus, build influence, and design a life that actually works. Pearlman opens with a simple, provocative claim: the skills that make a great mentalist, observation, pattern recognition, emotional calibration, and disciplined practice, are the same skills that make a great leader, partner, and human being. He frames the book around habits, small, repeatable actions that compound into extraordinary results. But unlike many habit books that stay abstract, Pearlman anchors each lesson in the concrete rituals of performance. He describes how he learned to notice micro-expressions in a crowded room, how he trained his attention to pick up tiny shifts in posture, and how he turned those observations into reliable predictions about what people would do next. For U.S. readers who live in a culture that rewards charisma and results, Pearlman's promise is compelling. You don't need supernatural powers, just better habits. A central theme is attention as a competitive advantage. Pearlman argues that in an age of distraction, the ability to focus is rare and therefore valuable. He tells stories of early gigs where he lost money because he was distracted, and contrasts them with later performances where disciplined attention let him anticipate an audience's reaction and steer a show to a standing ovation. He translates those stage lessons into daily practices: how to structure a morning to protect deep work, how to use short, intense practice sessions to build skill, and how to design environments that reduce friction for focus. For American professionals juggling inboxes, meetings, and side hustles, these are not abstract ideals, but tactical prescriptions. Pearlman's book is also a manual for reading people without being creepy. He is careful to distinguish ethical influence from manipulation. He teaches readers to observe posture, eye movement, and speech patterns as data, not as tools for exploitation, but as information that helps you respond with empathy and clarity. He offers scripts and micro-habits for conversations: how to ask questions that invite truth, how to mirror language to build rapport, and how to use silence strategically. These techniques are presented as ways to improve relationships, sales calls, interviews, difficult conversations with family, not as tricks to control others. That ethical framing will resonate with American audiences who are wary of dark arts but hungry for better communication skills. The narrative is rich with backstage anecdotes that make the lessons memorable. Pearlman recounts a nerve-wracking TV appearance where a single misread could have derailed his career, and how a tiny gobbet, breathing in a 4-count pattern before stepping on stage, kept him steady. He tells of corporate workshops where skeptical executives were transformed by simple exercises in attention and presence. These vignettes do more than entertain. They show how habits scale from one performer's life to boardrooms and living rooms across the United States. The book's tone is conversational and candid. Pearlman admits failures, shares the rituals that saved him, and invites readers to try them on. Another major strand is the science of habit formation, translated into performance language. Pearlman borrows from behavioral psychology: cue, routine, reward, but he reframes the loop for mentalists: cue, audience microsignal; pattern recognition, mental model; routine, the practiced response; and reward, audience reaction and internal feedback. He emphasizes experimentation: treat each interaction as a lab, test small changes, and keep what works. He also stresses the role of identity. The most durable habits are those that align with who you want to be. For American readers who respond to identity-based motivation, I'm the kind of person who shows up early, who finishes projects, who listens. This approach is immediately actionable. Pearlman devotes a section to resilience and performance under pressure. He explains how mentalists rehearse failure. They practice for things going wrong so that when the unexpected happens, they remain calm. He translates this into resilience drills for everyday life: stress inoculation exercises, visualization techniques, and micro-routines that anchor you when stakes rise. He pairs these with practical time management: how to batch decisions, how to create no meeting blocks, and how to use routines to transition between roles: parent, employee, performer. For Americans balancing high-pressure careers and family life, these tools are framed as ways to preserve sanity and sustain high performance.